Alright guys, first check-in, our SEMA build for 2025 SEMA show, our 1995 F-Body Camaro. We've got our LT4 in it, we have the 6L80 in there behind it. You might be going, well, it doesn't look like you've done a whole lot. What we're trying to do is develop parts for you guys in the time in which we're testing this and getting this vehicle ready for SEMA. Some of the items this LT4 has on it is our front accessory drive. We do offer the LT4 front accessory drive in both a dry and wet sump configuration. Now obviously an LT4 comes with an electronic power assist where you need to go to a hydraulic base for most vehicles. So we developed this LS9 style captured bearing power steering pump specifically for this kit. You can even add that power steering pump to your LT4 existing factory front accessory drive if you want. But it's nice because the captured bearing allows a spline power steering pump to come in from the back, and that way you reduce the side loading of the power steering pump and destroying bearings. So that factory 8-rib runs the power steering belt and the blower pulley, and is a really nice setup overall. One of the things that we learned about with the LT4 front accessory drive is the AC location for the F-body specifically gets into the way of the shock tower. So we removed that, but we're gonna look for a new opportunity to put the air conditioning compressor somewhere else. But for the sake of this build, there'll be power steering, alternator, water pump. Also, our LT4 kits come with a billet adapter that changes the angle of the throttle body. So if for applications where you may need to adapt that angle to better fit an air intake system or for clearancing, that's an option as well. We may or may not run it in this application, but it's a nice option to have. As far as getting the engine into the vehicle, it uses our standard LS and LT engine mount kit, tons of clearance to the rack, and also we're utilizing our 302-21 oil pan with our road race baffle kit in there. That will clear up to a 4-inch stroke, no problem at all. We offer that in both a satin and a black finish. For the trans mount, we're using our standard automatic 4L80 style mount, and then we're going to be making a new adapter bracket for fitting a 6L80. And the 6L80 and the LT4 fits in here really nice. Obviously, like most supercharged applications in the F-body, you do have to do some clearancing to the cowl. But as far as space over to the back side of the supercharger, to the firewall, and overall tunnel opening for the 6L80, fits in there like a glove. Love it. We also got part of the fuel system put in here. Since this is a 95 car, we went to a 98-02 style plastic tank that you get from the LS1s. And this allows us to utilize our dual 340 liter per hour fuel pumps. And that's really nice because we can run the vehicle under normal load with a single 340 pump to reduce the amount of fuel cycling. And then, based on RPM or throttle angle, we can trigger that second pump when we need that fuel demand. Also gives the ability to run this thing on E85 and with plenty of pump to support it. Over here on the table, we have our braking system here from our friends at Bear. We got a 6S front, 6P rear setup, so 6 pistons on both sides, 14-inch rotors on both sides, 2-piece rotors. And also next to that, we've got a prototype 3D printed 2-piece valve cover for the LT, which we're actually throwing chips in one of our prototype CNC machines to build a billet version of it, then to turn around and make that into a cast variant. Nice 2-piece design that you guys love, like we have for the LS with the Chevy script, covers up the factory coils and makes for a better appearing engine bay. Now, next up, we're going to be looking at installing a bunch of suspension components from our friends over at Q1 and DSE and kind of buttoning up the engine and transmission, and you should see a lot more progress on the next episode.